Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle to build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Tuesday. The digital diva is here in the house. Terry Johnson from Terry Johnson Online, New York City, right here, right now. Get a pen, get a paper, find some place to sit down so you can take some good notes so that you can implement what you're going to hear today. We want to welcome everybody watching live and on the replay. And Terry is about to get into it. Without further ado, here's Terry Johnson.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of marketing talk. And excuse me for my throat. Something is going in the air, some dust or something. So excuse me. My throat might go out. I feel it. So, but we will keep going and talking about marketing strategy for, I guess I'm going to say marketing strategy for the now. And I kind of stole that from Gary Vaynerchuk because he has a marketing for the now series. So, sorry. So we've been talking about the AI first world, and really that is going to be the focus of where we go now as far as marketing strategy and content strategy. Because, I've set it up that Web 3.0, everybody thought it was going to be the metaverse. And I never felt like that. I never was like, it's not the metaverse. I didn't know what it was. But so then, AI, ChatGPT came. We're all in the AI frenzy. There's a conversation going on now with all my SEO expert people on LinkedIn. Every day I go to I can't go to LinkedIn. Every day I go to LinkedIn, it pops up. There's a post from, that I'm like, ooh. So they are really starting to talk about the SEO. The debate now, is it AIO? Is it SEO? Do we still call it SEO? Is AIO? And AIO is AI optimized for the search engine. Should it be folded into SEO? Should we call it, instead of search engine optimization, we should call it search everywhere optimization? Now that one I like. That search everywhere. I like that because it's not it's moving away from like a Google web search traffic kind of thing into everything online, which includes social media. So I kind of like that. But there's a discussion and people are writing papers and I'm discovering new people and I'm going and reading things. I'm like, I don't have the time. So I got to stop going to LinkedIn. I didn't go today. But I love that discussion because we need to know, and we business owners, because we're not influencers, and if you paid attention to what's coming up, like all the text to video tools, because Google put one out last week that people are losing their minds and Chicken Little and the world is ending. So influencers, I'm sorry, you guys are not going to be around. Not like you were before. So we're good. We're on the business owner content track. We've been on that. I've said that for years. We're there. We're content creators and we're making content to what? Attract an audience that's going to buy. That's our bottom line. Are you buying? All the likes. Oh, we got to get this many likes. Oh, we got to get this many views on the video. And that's because the influencers, sorry guys, the influencers were taking that to the bank, to the brand and saying, this is the size of my audience. But that really doesn't matter anymore now because a brand, a business, whoever can say, well, I don't need to pay the influencer or whatever they're demanding. I could just go to Google VEO3, pay the $250. It's nothing to a business. That's nothing. They spend more than that on toilet paper or whatever the things that they buy. So they have a budget for it. So that little $250 per month is nothing to them. And then I'm pretty sure Google will have a enterprise version of that, which is for corporations. And guess what? These brands are going to be like, well, we can make the person in the AI in the video do and say and look however we want. Right now with the influencers, they pretty much got to work with them, and if they don't, give them what they want, or they don't do it exactly the way that the brand wants, it's pretty much a mismatch. And also you get the cost factor of, I don't gotta pay. I just paid the 250. I don't have to pay that AI influencer nothing, zero. But a real life influencer, I gotta pay them whatever they're demanding. And the more followers they have, the more money they demand. Now, I've seen the other argument about, well, nobody likes that AI stuff. That AI is slop. What's the other argument I heard? Something about it not looking real, and all of those things. I agree with that. For today, give it, I would say, less than a year, you're not going to be able to tell what's what. And we're there, which is why the Google VEO3 thing has everybody in an uproar, and really the creative filmmaker Hollywood, which we talked about. If you've got talent, you got talent. You're just, instead of, if you're an artist, instead of picking up a paintbrush and some paint and a canvas, you're using digital tools, because you know color theory. You know all of those things of not context, the way you lay things out and how it's supposed to look. Copywriters, you know what it's supposed to say. You know what the words and the format, the way to get the response. That is your experience. So instead of doing it the way we do it now, you use AI. And AI is going to shorten the process. That's all it does. We've said this time and time again. I mean, and I'm saying this because I get on every day and there's this argument about, oh, the robots are taking over. Oh, they're taking the jobs. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing that. If you got the experience, you're golden. What you need to do is transit right now, pivot right now into, let me go learn how to use this tool to make the art the thing that I want. There's no sitting around. I understand. We're upset, sitting around crying and moaning and You're wasting time. That's how I see it. You're wasting time. You should have been on this AI thing from day one. Only from the curiosity factor of, let me see what this is, instead of the let's make these letters open letters and stop AI and open letter and these people are wrong. I understand all that, but the wheel is turning. Technology waits for no man. I'll just say that. And if you don't believe me, look at history. Technology waits for no man. Where are the horse and buggy people at? When Ford came around, where we talk about that. And Fran has a history YouTube channel where you did things like that. I mean, I don't understand why we're arguing about the transition from one tool to the other. We went from what did the caveman use? Things, and they
rock.
Yeah, they used the rock, and then they transitioned to making a hammer, and then they transitioned to make. It's a tool. So this arguing, I'm like, I don't even get in the middle of it. I go into all my social media, and it's there. Anger. I understand the anger because we're human, but you got to get past that because the wheel is turning. It's not stopping. This merry-go-round, Ferris wheel, whatever you're calling it, and you can't say that I'm wrong because look at technology. There was a time when we did not have a computer in the home. Now we got a computer on the arm and wearing the glasses, and so I don't understand. I don't understand the stuck in the madness of it when it's staring you in the face. I don't get it. I understand it intellectually, but I'm like, move on. You're sitting here waiting, like I said, I think maybe last week I said that I read somewhere the guy was on Threads complaining about his wife got fired and she's a creative artist or creative something. I was like, she's got 20 plus years of experience. She's good. She better get on that computer, or you don't even need a computer. You can use the phone. You don't need a computer. Use whatever tool you like, but get on there and make it do what it needs to do. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If I heard
Mm-hmm.
that,
Yeah.
you can apply that everywhere to weather preparedness, emergency prepare. What did they tell you to do? Have a go bag.
Yeah. And what I'm seeing is that every industry, AI is affecting every industry. If
And I said it
you,
would. And I said, I think I remember I said it would.
uh,
Oh, you look at
um,
Mark.
yeah,
Hey, Mark.
it, AI is going to make your industry better because if you know, like TJ is saying, if you know how to do a particular thing, like if I write, so AI helps me write more quickly, more better. It's still my ideas, still my inputs, but I don't have to fiddle around. There's no blank page.
Right.
I don't have a blank page anymore, but
Right.
I have a concept in my head of what I want to talk about. And normally you would get an assistant, a ghostwriter, or somebody to help you get that out.
That's what we have. Name it whatever you like. That's what we have. It's not people. I think people are still stuck on. Oh, I can spin out an ebook. I move beyond that. We're beyond that of making a piece of content. It does a lot more than that, and it will continue to do more than that. Now, I see Mark's comment, and I agree with that. Mark asked, hey Mark, thank you. He says it does merit a discussion about technology's effect on our survival, like the environment impact of AI. So it's more than a job that would be eliminated. Yes, I agree. There is an environmental
Impact.
factor that we haven't got a handle on now, but we will. Only because I'm a student of history and I know that when things happen, when electricity came along, there was that thing of it affects the environment. Us breathing affects the environment. Did anybody know that?
Yep.
Human beings breathing, just breathing affects the environment in that way. So I understand that there's an AI, there's an environmental part of that, but we're gonna fix that because guess who's gonna help us with that?
AI.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching another little history thing, and this was back in 1920s when cars
Wow.
first came on the scene.
Right.
Okay, they had to evolve because there was no direction. Cars were driving, everybody was
Every which
driving.
way, they didn't know which way to go.
Because nobody had come up with a system
It
of,
was new.
okay, a street, let
Yeah.
alone just people just driving
They
anywhere they want.
They were just buggy lanes. They were just little lanes that the horse and buggy made.
And there was no stop signs or
Right.
or signal lights saying, okay,
Right.
it's your turn to go. Everybody was just going and doing what they wanted to do.
Right. Because when they had the horse and the buggy, there was always the I want to call it gentleman's agreement, but there was always an agreement. If you see another one coming, you knew what to do. Or if you saw one coming, you knew what to do. There was a courtesy. I want to say
Mhm.
a common courtesy, a common sense of there's another horse and buggy coming, and the lane is only so much. So they had things that they knew to do with the horse and the buggy. But when they, like Fran says, when they transitioned to the car, it was like, okay, what do we do? But it's the same thing as a horse and a buggy. We just turn those trails into streets, turn those
Right.
streets into highways.
And they had to come up with new systems
Yes.
for the new technology.
Right.
It's
So
the
that's
same
what
thing.
will happen here. We will
Yes.
have it's this. I love that analogy. Thank you. Of the cars and people not knowing which way to go because it was new, but they figured it out.
Correct.
Right? They figured it
Right.
out.
They figured it out. And Mark's comment is it's estimated that AI will require 720 billion gallons of water annually to keep the servers cool. So we're going to have to figure that out. And
Right.
I
And see,
think they're already working on that. Aren't
we
they
had this
buying?
problem. We had this problem before AI with just a simple
Mhm.
computer, with just a simple phone. That's not a new issue. It's just that AI has put a layer on top of it. And that is a
Yes.
problem because I kind of remember. Did I see some story about some city? I want to say Mississippi. I could be wrong, and I want to say Elon Musk, but I could be wrong. But somebody is running some server farms that is impacting the environment in some place. And
Well,
I apologize to anybody in Mississippi. It's just coming to me.
okay, and then they talked about buying nuclear reactors to
Hmm.
to to handle the server loads. Okay, and that's
Yeah.
interesting because the
Hmm.
last time we were using nuclear reactors, that didn't have such a good
Yeah,
effect.
so things were a little volatile there. I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. I just know it's figure outable. The right people are working on it, and until then, this wheel will keep turning. Because if it wasn't, the wheel would stop. This wheel would stop. I know it
Well,
would.
this ain't gonna stop. And I do believe, and they're probably going to turn to AI and ask it, what would you do
Oh
to
yeah,
solve
AI
this?
is going to come up and say, have you
Yes.
gone to, because that's how it works. It looks at every piece of data that we already have and it fills in the gap of, did you think of this? And this is where I'm going when I use my assistant. I'm like, well, what am I missing? I'm the human. I know I missed something. AI goes, well, you missed this. I was like, oh. Then I said, put it together. And it puts it together. So that's what I mean. That it's going to, there's minds that are working on this. When there's a problem, somebody wants a solution. Mark
Yes.
said, yes, it's meant. Okay, I know it was an M. I could not remember which. So I apologize to Mississippi. It's some city where they are doing things. And again, the here it is. Journalism has to make us aware. The internet has to make us aware to where the right people who can do something, and that's us. We could get out in the street and say this is not right. That's
Mm-hmm.
what we're starting to do with other things. We're getting in the street and saying this is not right. And then people go, yeah, that's not right. And then the right people get the attention of the problem and they say, well, let's work on the solution. And they work on the solution. So that's what's going to happen. That's how I know that something is going to happen. So it is not great that it's using up all the water. But the thing is, you love avocados, it's the same thing.
Right. Avocados take a great deal of
You like
water.
avocados, it takes a lot of water. Then we stop eating avocados. Stop eating them.
No,
But
and
awareness.
see, right. And then they start doing things like making up stuff in a lab, and then
Yeah, they're gonna make a artificial avocado or one or something. There are all kind of things, and I don't want to get like off track with that because I really want to take this back to the content part of this. And I brought it up about the SEO, AIO. I don't really care what we're gonna call it, but I am calling it. And let me tell you what I did. My assistant and I came up with jointly. We're gonna call this outcome oriented content.
oh, that sounds promising.
Yes. And this is what we should have been doing all the whole time. It's just it took us here to get it took us this time and place. Everything happens at the right place at the right time at when it's supposed to happen. That's marketing. But I always was said that we cannot make content for content's sake. We cannot make content because I need to post. It's 3, it's 9 a.m. I must post something. If you don't have anything to say that's going to outcome orient, attract the right audience to get them to do what we want, which is our goal is revenue and income, then there's no need to do it until you are ready. Why? Because we're out of the place of social media of followers. You can post something at any time, at any place, anywhere, and if it hits the right mark, the target, it's going to do what it needs to do. And I go through this with my clients because they're like, oh, well, I said, well, first of all, we got to test, we got to post content all the time. Well, they're asleep. Well, who's asleep? We live in a global world.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's awake.
Somebody's awake.
So they're not, oh, well, 9 to 5. No, we're not bankers hours. So again, to get that sweet spot of, let's say for social media, you got to post all the time, different times. Then you use analytics to see, well, my people are on at 11 a.m. and they like text or they like video or they like a graphic or they like a this, a reel, a funny, a this, a meme, a what, a that. How do you get to that point? You must make content. not perfect content. And I think we mentioned that before. There was a young lady that we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, it took her too long." I'm like, "Well, you got to just make some content. You're trying to make it perfect."
Right.
I said, "Make the content, and then you figure out from your people, because they will tell you what the best content is. You're trying to make it perfect because there's a mindset of it must look like Hollywood. It must look like TV. You must look like a journalist, Gail King on the morning. No, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
People are making content on TikTok. I love to Get Ready With Me. Women are coming on just like, no makeup, get ready with me, and then get ready, and they talk. Some of the moms come on like, I'm a mom. I got 3 kids. I'm not glamoring myself up. I'm coming on as a mom. Why? That attracts the other moms. You get more moms. Guess what? The businesses, the brands that want moms want you because you got the moms. They can't get the moms. See? That's just a couple of the examples. But we're getting past that. Okay. And I hate to say, I went to Instagram today and Adam popped up today with something, and I read the comments, and here we go. Chronological order. People, I'm like, we're done. We're done with that. So we're in a world where you can make content at any place, anytime. It doesn't have to be perfect. And in some instances, like the moms, you don't want perfect because moms wake up, Cheerios on the floor, and the dishes aren't whatever. The baby needs this, and the diapers. That we don't live in that 1950s world anymore. We don't live in that world. We have many different things happening, many different people, many different interests. We're in an interest-based world. So you're going to make content, outcome-oriented, based on your outcome. What do you want? What do you want to happen? And then you're going to work back from there. Okay, so let me give you a little definition for the outcome-oriented content. Content created with the end result in mind, not the platform, the trend, or even the algorithm. And answer this question: what does my audience need to understand, feel, or do by the time they finish consuming this piece of content? That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm going to tell you, that's a lot. What does my audience need to understand, feel, or do? Because they have to do something. People are making content and just putting it out and going, well, okay, let's use podcasts. Well, podcasts are hot, right? People are making millions of dollars. Joe Rogan and all these other people. Well, it's easy. You just sit there and talk in front of a mic. It looks simple, but it's not. It's because you have to say something. You have to say something that people want to hear. You have to make sure it's in front of those people. You got to make sure the feeling is right. You got to know what's going on currently in the world. You got to know what's in their mind. You got to know what's in their life. And you got to ask them to do something. By the time they finish that piece of content, and it could be I want to say 5 minutes. It's a 4-minute mark. It could be the 4-minute mark. It could be the 30-minute podcast. There's podcasts that are 2 hours. Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, there are. And people will watch them or listen.
So it's like, well, who's going to watch a 2-hour podcast? Ask the people that watch Shannon Sharp. I'm trying to remember if I finished any of his podcasts. I have to go. I was like, it's so good. I have to go back. But you have 2 hours. So that's why they make clips and they put it different places to bring you to that too. But the argument of it needs to be 30 minutes. A reel needs to be 7 seconds. A podcast needs to be 30 minutes. No, it could be 30 seconds. It could be 1 minute. It could be 10 minutes. It could be an hour, 45, 33 and a third. I don't care what you call it. It just needs to answer a question that people want. The curiosity factor. And will they consume it and do what you need them to do at the end of it? That's it in a nutshell. So I'm going to read this again. Content created with the end result in mind, not the platform, the trend, or even the algorithm. It answers the question, what does my audience need to understand, feel, or do by the time they finish it? It's the opposite of just showing up and posting something. That's what we are. And there's a lot of people stuck in the, okay, I'm going to post this because, this is the popular thing to post. And that might hit and it might not. And now, how do I know that? Because I go on Instagram or I go other places and people, I think I was on Threads and they were talking about Instagram is dead. Instagram doesn't grow anything. My account hasn't grown. Does it need to grow? Or do you just need to make a piece of content that hits at the right place at the right time with the right person? And then you got your system in place where the iron strike, where you striking while the iron is hot, the lightning is striking in the right spot, they're hitting the target, and boom, guess what? That money hits the account. That's all I care about. The ching ching ring ring of the cash register. I don't care how they get there. So that's what we are with the system. And there's a lot of people, like, I love that friend brought up the thing about the cars. When they first got the car, they didn't know which way to go. What do we do? We're in that spot. Oh, and here Mark says, let's bring this up. He said there are podcasts that are 4 minutes. Yeah, there's 1 minute there. I've seen them.
Yes, and some of them I appreciate very much because yes. I don't need you to talk all day. I just need to get the gist of it so I can move on. Yeah. Then I will sit down. I have podcasts that's like an hour or hour and 20 minutes or whatever that I do listen to, but I save those for when I have time.
Save. Did you hear that? Save. Mark says that was a plug. Yes, that's why I brought it up, because he's got a 4 minute, 3 minute, I don't care what you call it. I don't care how long it is. Francis, it's a minute. If it's a minute and it gives me a minute of information that I need, that satisfies the need, plus I'm telling people where to go after that minute, I'm good. Guess what you do now? You just get on the bike and you ride. You just keep riding. Oh, I got the bike is made. Just get on it and ride it until the thing that you want happens, the goal. So I always ask my client, like, what do you want to, what is your one goal? What do you want with this? No, one. And we're going to work on that, because we got to reverse engineer this. We got to back it up. And I'm like, depending on the industry, I'm already going to tell you, well, really, you should, if you're a nonprofit, I think your thing should be donations, not followers. Your thing should be donations. Because guess what? If you are a nonprofit and you get a big donation, do you need, give me a donation? I need a donation. If you get one big one, what happens? You're good. You're good for that year, your budget or whatever. And that's like, I was watching something on PBS, and they always listen to the thing. They said, this is brought to you by, and they name the names, and I always hear the same names. And these are all uber wealthy people that they passed on, and they made a foundation, and the foundation gives the PBS. And guess what PBS does? At the end of the program, or at the beginning, this program is brought to you by so and so and so, so and so and so, so and so. And it's the same names. So if you get one of those, you're good. So if you're a nonprofit, do you need to, there's the Salvation Army part, which is great because that gets the regular donation. But there's also what they call the wealthy donator, the private wealth management. I never heard that term before I watched PBS. I was like, what the heck is a private wealth man? That is somebody that is very wealthy. That is Bill Gates wealthy. They have special banks and they don't walk into the bank like you and I. Do we even walk into the bank? But they don't do that. The bank comes to them. They don't, I was like, private wealth management. But I just love the fact that when I'm listening to things and I pick up on it, I'm like, okay, I am a nonprofit. I need to be getting people on a list, and I need to be asking for donations, and not maybe ask for a donation like Salvation Army ask, it's right in your face. Or the other part of it with the private wealth management, where they have events and they invite all the wealthy people and they come and they feed them and they entertain them and they, they go around and, have conversations, and they say, oh, my office will contact you and, transfer wire, those kind of things. So which one do you want? You want both, right? So those two things are different approaches as far as content. Is what I'm trying to say when I bring up that. So we need to start thinking about outcome oriented content. And again, I always tell you, a lot of work, a lot of things, but AI is here to help you. It really is. And there's no, okay, how do I use this thing? Just ask it something. What do you want? I want this for my business. Can you show me how? Can you tell me how? Can you help me how? And it says, sure. Have you tried this? Have you thought of this? And I go, ooh, I like that. Let's talk more about that. Give me more details about number 3. And it'll give you more details about number 3. And you get down on the path of, wow, I didn't know this information existed. It's existed. AI is putting it together, pattern recognition, putting it together in a way that to match what you're asking. And see, we're getting back to the outcome oriented content, because this is what people are doing. They're going on AI and asking it. They're not going, best restaurant near me. Some people still are, but there are other ways of asking AI, and it's all being recorded. And so we want to use that process because we want to match, right? We don't want to just make content and, well, it doesn't hit the target, and that gets into the nobody sees my post. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's engaging, this and that. The road is there. We just got to figure out, like with the cars, how do we do this? How do we drive? How do we get there? And this is all, it's always been there. It's just that everybody's starting to get to that point now because of AI. So it's kind of driving on just us this way, which is a good thing, because you want to think about. So because I got some I have some steps or questions we need to think about. 1, who does this serve? Who does this content serve? You're not creating for everyone, just the right person. Remember, everybody's not your audience. Everybody's not your customer. Number 2, what are they searching for? Because you want to solve a known problem or desire that they have, because they're searching, because they're asking. They ask, not you as a business owner. Okay, I make jewelry and but that's not what your customer is asking for. They're asking things like, I have an event on Saturday, and because you can ask AI that I'm going to something on Saturday. I have a picture or something I'm thinking of. You can upload the picture and ask AI whatever you want. What goes with this? Where should I find this? What brand or designer or things like that? So that's where we're coming from. So do you see how that is? They're not asking for gold jewelry or this jewelry or that or that. They're asking, I have something. I have a problem. AI is going to bring solutions. What did you try this? It's going to be like dim sum. The plate, the things come around and you pick what you want. And like, ooh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, let me try that. See? So how do we get out of the mindset of, okay, the keywords and, well, best restaurant near me, or something near me, and no, they have problems. So they're going to AI with the problems. Like with the plumber, you could say, you could still go to Google and say plumber near me, and you'll get local SEO results. But people are going to Perplexity, ChatGPT, whoever, whatever tool you want to use, and they're saying, well, my sink is making this funny noise, or this is coming out, or something. What do I do? AI knows what to do, because they know they're not asking for the definition of a sink. They're asking, I have a problem. And then they return information about, well, you might want to call a plumber. Here are 3 plumbers near you. How do they get that information? How does AI get that information? How does AI get that information? The sources that we all see now, from deep search or even regular search. ChatGPT will give you the source depending on how you ask a question. Copilot, all. But where did they get that information from? It's on the web already. So you as a plumber, you need to be on Google My Business. You need to be on Google. You need to be here, there, and everywhere. You need to exist already. See, that was the great part about Web 1.0 was everybody had blogs and everybody had a website and they put stuff out. So now AI is going. Now we got to figure out. I don't know that part. We're still working on it. We got to figure out how AI determines who to serve. What plumber gets you? Is it local? Is it that part we're still working on? And again, there's a lot of things. This is a wheel. This is an octopus with so many arms and legs. We're trying to figure it out. But right now, we want to be in front of the audience with the right thing, and not Baskin Robbins 31 flavors when all I want is chocolate. Well, I want to give you chocolate. And how do I know that? Because I know that you asked AI. And I'm like, okay, here you go. I got you. All right, so let me get back to this list. So it's what are they searching for? Number 2. Number 3, how are they asking? So you have to speak in their language. Again, this gets into the SEO of no keywords. They're doing conversational searching. They're asking like they're asking a friend, or they're talking to the neighbor, or whatever. And that language can be any kind of format, not just keywords. Number 4, what are they feeling? This taps into emotional resonance. You wanna connect with them on an emotional level. Number 5, what outcome do they want? Remember, I said this is the business owner. What's the outcome? What we want them to do? If it's content online, we want them to go to that call to action button or do whatever it is when we direct them to do it. Because we need to help them get the result they need, and also say, hey, you like that? I got more over here. Traffic cop. And number 6, what format delivers the best? Again, that gets into what I said earlier about just making content and seeing what they like from the analytics. Is it text? Is it visual? Is it audio? Is it written? Is it memes? Is it quote graphics? Is it clips? Is it whatever? You need to make it. Oh, what do I need to make? Content. Just make something, put it out, because that's how you're going to get the data from the analytics to see what it is that your audience likes. So if you don't put the content out, you're not going to be able to tell. And if you're sitting around going, well, I need to make perfect content, you make one post a day or whatever, you're going to get data, but it's not going to be as complete as if you did 3 things a day off the cuff. And what I mean off the cuff is you walking around with this thing. I'm in the line at the supermarket. Take it out and do whatever you need to do. Say whatever you need to say. Post it and move on. There's a whole thing of it must be perfection. We're shooting a Pepsi commercial. We're shooting a Nike commercial. We need lights, camera, actions. We need a director. We need sets, and we need designer clothes. No. Pick where do you want to be? Shorts, reels, TikTok, whatever. There's a live button or a recorded button. And you can say, well, I just had a thought. I'm standing and I'm here waiting for something. I'm waiting. I got time. Let me ask a question. Let me ask you guys a question. Da, 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 da. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Send me a DM. I'm interested. Click. Post. Do that 3 times a day. See what you get. In between that, when you have time and you want to make a graphic, make a graphic. You want to write a blog post, write a blog post. You want to do something on Substack notes or threads, do it. But you must do all of that in order to see what it is that's going to resonate and connect with them. And it seems like a lot, right? But see, again, you're going to go to AI and say, I need help organizing this and making it easy to where I can do this 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, 15 minutes in the evening. And AI goes, sure, I got you. And it spits out a calendar, it spits out a planner, it spits out a whatever it is, it will spit it out. And you say, hey, that's what I need. print it out, post it, do whatever, but follow the information. See, test it out, try it. Like Fran said, with the cars, they didn't have roads. We just transitioned from the horse and buggy. We were just doing paths. We were going down the path, clip clock with the little whip. Oh, we got to stop. Pull on the rein, stop the horse. Here comes somebody, let them pass. Keep going, clip clock. That's what it is. So when they got the cars, they was like, didn't know what to do. But they figured it out. So we got AI to help us figure it out. There's some more in here, but I want to stop here and see, what do we think so far about the outcome oriented content or the outcome oriented strategy focus that we need to have?
So with that in mind, we need to know what outcome we want.
Yeah, you do.
And if our outcome, like you were saying, with nonprofits is for donations, then we need to craft our content to resonate with the people who are going to give donations.
Right. That's an emotional connection that you got to have. It's not just go to social media and put on Instagram, well, we're taking donations. Okay, cool. That's not going to get me to pull out my wallet. But if you hit me with a story, a real story, an authentic story of who you're helping and how you help somebody, and you give me a little detail, that's going to hit with me. That's going to connect with me, hit the target of emotional resonance. And I'm like, these guys are doing great work. Let me pull out this link and hit the $5 or the $10 or the whatever you're feeling, however that content hits you. See that with the nonprofit, it is Salvation Army. I'm out there with the bucket and people put change. Or I don't know. Are they really? They should be out there with a phone or a QR code. They should be out there with because who's got change? They should be out there with a QR code. Beep, beep, beep. But see, that's the the pennies, the dollar, the whatever. And then the other side of that is the private wealth management crew where, it's a different approach. Why? Because you're not going to hit up a person like that. Hey, give me some money. That's not how they operate. They operate differently from the Salvation Army red kettle on the corner or, Santa. I'm thinking, they have the Santa and they're ringing the bell because people are out in the street. But where are people now on social media? But the approach has to fit where you are and who you're talking to. That's why I said it at the top. Let me read that again. It's like, with the end result in mind, not the platform, the trends, or even the algorithm, it answers the question, what does my audience need to understand, feel, or do by the time they finish this? What do they understand, which is the education part of it, feel is the emotional part of it, and then what do? They must do something. You must get them to act. Else it's just a hobby. You're just posting for fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't post for fun as a hobby and then go when nobody's doing anything. Well, these are the steps that you need. And like Fran says, you have to know, well, what it is you want. I don't know. You got to figure that out. And if you're in a business and you don't know, there's definitely a problem. There's a problem. A business is in business to make revenue. If it's a corporation, make the shareholders happy. There's different places and different things that each business and corporation wants to do, but most businesses want revenue. So you can go with that. You don't have to be too specific. You can have a goal. I want to have X amount of dollars at the end of the year, or I want to be in the red, black instead of the red by Black Friday. Whatever those things is. All of those things you can give to AI and it will help you figure out. Tell me how to get there from here. From here, AI, how do I get there? And it will tell you, well, this is what you need to do. And you do it. And then you go back, well, I don't understand. Well, let's talk about it. Or I need more details. Like, here's the details. Or give me step-by-step instructions. Step-by-step instructions. And, how do you do this here? It says, oh, if in this program you do X, it tells you, open this, click that, do the instructions are there. but it is a doorway of, well, how do I open the door? You just open the door. With AI, you just ask it something. And if you have the, the pay part of it, it saves in memory, so you don't have to keep asking over and over. That's why I'm like, I pay for it because I'm like, I want it to save my memory, because when I go in there and give it another piece of information, and I say, remember we talked about this. I do that. I say, remember we talked about this, and they go, yeah. I said, well, add this on, okay, and then we have a conversation. I was like, does that make sense? Is that a good strategy? Yeah. No. Did I miss anything? Yes. No. And it fills in. Yes, no, if then. See? But this is a way we need to think of creating content, not because, well, you gotta, that follower count or that this or that. You can use this strategy to reactivate any of your old platforms, to get back on. There's no, oh, well, I have, this is the thing I hear with email lists. Well, I haven't emailed in a while. You can still email people. They're either gonna unsubscribe, delete, or read it. Why
Right.
are you afraid of that? And then again, if that's an issue and say, well, I did this and I had so many unsubscribed, go to chat, go to AI and say, hey, the email list was inactive and I did this. What did I do wrong? And it will tell you. What do I need to do to fix it? It will tell you. See? It's not just write me a blog post, write me an ebook. People are doing that, and doing that and going, okay, well, I got the key to making money online now. I just go write me an ebook about XYZ. It's generic stuff which nobody will buy. We're not in that era of generic anymore. We're in the era
Nope.
of intent, and it has to resonate, and you have to connect emotionally, and you have to be saying something, and you have to be real. And see, here's the other part of the being real, especially with the Google VEO3. People go, oh, that's not real. It's very, people not gonna like. Once you get the hang of the emotional part of it, oh yeah, I'd say less than a year. The way that we have grown so far with AI is, especially with images and videos, it's a scary thing, but it's also the doorway to something new. Again, the horse and the buggy and the cars that Fran was talking about. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Transit with the electricity, transitioning from candles to there was a whole bunch of things about that. And some of the TV shows that I watched, they talk about that. It was like, oh, they got street lamps instead of they had somebody. Did you know they had somebody that had to go and light the gas light at night? There was a
Yes.
person that had to do that.
And he had to go throughout the entire town turning on lights.
We still here in New York City. We still have those old looking light poles. They used to be, that was somebody's job. They're all electric now, but the black ones, they look really old fashioned. They were gas lit. Somebody had to come and gas light those things. And then here comes electricity, and they lit up the Brooklyn Bridge. And I think it's the Gilded Age I was watching, and they did that. And they were just, oh, with the electricity. And I'm like, what? We don't even think about it. That's what I said. We go, when you turn the light on, or say, we don't even have to touch the light switch anymore. We just say to the air, turn on the light. The light comes on. You never thought about that. So again, we're going to be in a spot in the future where we're not going to think about AI. It's not going to be a thing. It's going to be like, what? It's just going to do, we're just going to get things. It's just going to do things. Just like electricity, it just comes on. Water, it just comes out. But there was a time when people had to dig a well to get water. They still do, but
Oh no, they had to go to the river and drag it up
yes,
in
that,
buckets.
and in some places, unfortunately, they're still doing that. And we need to help them, help everybody who doesn't have clean water. Please, we should have, and there's programs. People are doing things to help countries that are doing that. But even in America, there's some places where there's issues with water. But what I'm trying to say is that we don't think about where it comes from. It just, you turn it on, it comes out. The lights, they come on. Did you ever think about it? No, because we've advanced so far. So AI is going to advance in that way, but we need to be aware of the process. The process doesn't change. And the thing with the horse and the buggy and the car, the process was we need to get somewhere. Horse and buggy, if you wanted to go somewhere, what was it, days traveling? In a car, it was less.
Yeah,
Airplane,
they said the Oregon Trail took 3 to 5 months.
yeah, 3 to 5 months. Oregon Trail, 3 to 5 months. What do you do it now? You get on a plane, you're there in a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody fussed. I'm trying to remember. Did anybody fuss about airline? Probably did. Probably did fuss about
Okay, that
airplanes.
part right there.
Mm-hmm.
They said you can get on a plane. They were doing this whole history thing. The Oregon Trail was three to
Mm-hmm.
five months, or you can get on a plane if you dared. Because somebody, this is right after the Wright brothers had gotten that whole
Yes.
situation together.
Yeah.
And so you were putting some faith in something to get on the plane
Right.
and fly.
Faith. Same
But
thing with the train. I remember some show that I older show. It was in England, and they were showing the people in the city. They were trying to get them to ride the train, like they were afraid of it to get on the train.
and the forward it's the early adopters, like even with tech right now, the early
Mm-hmm.
adopters were the one who got on the plane.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna fly. Look, Amelia Earhart flying over
Yeah.
the
She
country.
around the world, but then again, her story ended tragically. But she wanted the explorer part of her wanted to do that.
And I think that was her last flight, but she
Yeah.
didn't make it.
No, she had done. I think she'd done some things before, but I think
Right.
something this last
The
one with
last
South
one,
Pacific, something
yeah.
happened, and unfortunately, she perished. But those are the things that people are doing, and not to say that it's safe because, but there are people that want to do that, and the same thing with what's going on in with the environment, um, what's going on with the video. It's just I feel for everybody that's saying I'm going to lose my job, this and that. But what you have is experience, and nobody can take that away from you. You have to use the tool. Don't be afraid of the tool. Oh, this Google VO thing. Oh, it's going to take my job. Let me get in there and figure this thing out because I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be like, hey, the other people putting out junk, but look, I'm putting out quality because I have 30 years experience of making films. I have
So
20 years
here's the
experience.
thing. The person making the films, the art director, the person who tells what the set should look like and all of that,
That
they got a
direction.
they got an upper hand because they can just say to it and then they don't have to deal with the people. No, I need you to make it better. The AI will just do
You
what they
still need a
ask.
script. You still need continuity. You still need set direction. You still need, I need a set that looks like whatever. Somebody has to know how to get that information into the AI. Because see,
and,
you
and,
could tell it, make me a set of Paris. Well, there's a lot of things in Paris. There's lots of places, lots of scenes, lots of.
but that's where the director of photography knows what to say to make that be the scene that the
And how
director
do
is.
they know? Experience.
Mm-hmm.
They've done it. It doesn't matter now. So now instead of getting on a plane and flying to Paris and scoping out scene locations, guess what? Let me figure out how to do it with this new tool because we don't have to go there. See, that's less money for that and more money in the budget to do other things. We're not looking at it right. We're looking at it from a place of fear, and I understand that. But I'm saying I've said a couple times with different people, different stories, like the guy making sandwiches, but he's a copywriter, 40 years experience. The other lady, I think she was an actress, and she had all this. You got it. Now you got to package it differently. You got to figure out the tool, and we can't. I understand that you're older and you're like you set in your ways. You don't want to do anything. I understand that, but don't be. You got to get in there and do it. You got to jump in and swim. That's how you get what you want. So if you're spinning your wheels on LinkedIn, because they say everybody said that you go to you go to LinkedIn and get a job. Well, it's not that. That's old LinkedIn. LinkedIn today is different. It's not about I think I saw somebody the other day posting that they were looking for a job. I was like, okay, yeah, that's you may get some things that way, but I think the person with the making the sandwiches was frustrated because they were doing that and wasn't getting any hits. And I'm like, but you're wasting time. Learn the tool that you need, and then say, hey, I'm a copywriter with 40 years experience. What you need, I got it for you. I know how to do it. I know how to get you. You having trouble with AI? I know how to get it out of AI perfectly. Boom, boom, boom. So you can, and what is it they want? You tell them, I can do this for you, so you can, the customer, the client, you can XYZ, whatever they want to do. I know how to do it. And you have the system in place to get those people online, because there are people out there like the cars. We're out there searching for the street, the road. I don't know where to. How do we do this thing? How do we drive this car? How do we get to where we want to go? There's no
right.
GPS.
And the people who were not courteous, they didn't care. They were just running over folks and just
yeah. So I see it, but we gotta start thinking about doing it in a way that faster, better, easier for us. AI is the way. You use the tool. It's going to evolve. I keep saying that it's going to evolve. It's going to get better. The thing
so
that
I hear you saying we're not going back.
no, that was I remember that letter. That was like the end of, I think it was the beginning of 2023 or something. Like ChatGPT had been out a couple months, and they were like, "Oh, we gotta stop this thing."
I was like, that is so it is out. The cats are out of the bag. Y'all not putting all that stuff back in there trying to try and shove it back in.
Did you hear? I think I want to say Dubai, somewhere in Saudi Arabia. I don't know which. Sorry, Saudi Arabia. I don't know which city or country, city or whatever. They're giving all of their citizens get ChatGPT Plus for free. Yeah, I heard that. Let me do a real quick search while we do.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can look it up for you.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah, go ahead. It was. I want to say Dubai. It might not be Dubai. I know it's Saudi Arabia, somewhere Middle East. I heard that, and I was going. I see all of these things. I'm like, I don't have time. I got to file it away and come back. But they're giving Chat GPT Plus, not the regular, not the free one. They're getting the plus one. I think all the citizens are getting it. They don't have to pay. I don't know if there's any restrictions, but I was thinking like, wow, see, that is kind of a country that is saying, not that I'm saying, they have their problems. Everybody does, but I'm just saying that they're trying to go, okay, well, technology, we jumping into this thing. We are giving it to everybody. Everybody's gonna get. This is I'm thinking the gold. Remember the gold rush, and everybody was leaving the east, going west, and they were giving away shovels and picks and buckets, and everybody was running out. There's some movie where everybody was running to get the land, and all you needed was like a bucket, a shovel, like some basic tools, a tent, and I think the cities on the West Coast was given that. Hey, come on! All you gotta do is come. We got all the stuff, the accoutrement. We got all of these shovels and whatever you need to dig for the gold. Just come on out, because that was a way to develop the land. See, if I'm on the East Coast, I'm like, well, there's opportunity on the West, but it's like, wow, I gotta go through that Oregon Trail. I gotta go through.
So it's UAE.
Okay.
United Arab Emirates is the first country to offer free Chat GPT Plus.
Yes, and not because Chat GPT is free. The Plus is free for them. And is it all citizens, or is it like a?
No, it says no monthly fee. You're in the United Arab Emirates. It's about
Mhm.
to become in the first of its kind move. The UAE has teamed up with OpenAI to offer free ChatGPT Plus access to all its citizens and residents.
Okay.
But that's just one piece of a much bigger puzzle.
Okay.
I
And
can put this link in the chat if
yeah,
somebody
put
wants
that
to
link
read
because
it.
I heard it. I was like, wow, and I moved. I was like, I gotta comment to it. And I was just like, wow. But and they're doing that because they want to develop. They want to enter the modern world. They want to be seen. They are in the modern world. I mean, oh, the Middle East countries, they do have a lot of technology, advanced things, and they have a lot of, especially construction. They have a lot of things that are indoors because of the heat and weather. Everything's indoors. They've got. I think I heard they've got like you can go skiing indoors and all kind of with real snow and crazy stuff that they because it's all indoors because you can't go out as outside like 120. It's 120 outside, but they go inside and they ski and they do. But that is they're trying to advance the country because they don't want to be seen as the people riding camels. There's some people that still think that they just ride camels everywhere, but um there's a lot of wealth and there's a lot of technology. There's also some other things society wise that they're not so great at. So I'm not talking about that part. I'm just talking about the part of that every citizen is going to get because they see the value of everybody having that. It's all about advancement and going forward. So, we have to be open to using the tool and not being afraid of it. Because I see and I understand all of the discussions about being afraid it's going to take my job, being afraid that it's going to harm me. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going to do that. We're going to have checks and they're already built in. You don't see them there. And I was reading about the Google VO3, which I already knew, but I saw in the story that it has invisible watermarks.
Oh yeah,
Has invisible watermarks. So
I do believe that um, there are things that somebody shared something with me yesterday where there's a tool that you can use to detect AI
yeah,
in something.
yeah.
So, and I believe the universities are using it and just
Yeah,
to make sure that
there's a lot of invisible and just a real quick story. Because I use Adobe a lot of Adobe tools and I use the Firefly. Is it Firefly? I think it's Firefly that makes the text to AI. And so it has an option where you can add a reference image. And I do that because the Firefly is not great at real people like hands and stuff. So I was like, okay, I need to give it a reference of a real person and it gives me a better output. And I'm trying to remember, I think I tried to upload an AI image and it said I can't use it because it and the terminology was like this image has AI something in it. It would not take. I could not upload it. Now if it was a regular say stock image of a person, like I could go to deposit photos or wherever they have the stock photos of a person, I could have uploaded that because that would be a photograph.
mm,
But because it was an AI generated image, it would not take it. It was an AI generated image of a person that I was like, okay, this is what I wanted to look like, Firefly. And I said, okay, there's an area you click on it to upload the image. And then Adobe said, no, you can't use this image because it's AI generated. I said, wow, there's code in these things.
right,
Even if I did a screen, I don't know if I did a screenshot. I'm gonna try that. Because I'm that's like the last frontier of imagery. It's like, okay, I can't save this, but I'm a screenshot it. They're gonna have a fix for that. So that was just interesting that I kept trying to upload the AI generated image of a human person, like a person like I wanted the setting, and Adobe wouldn't allow me to do it because it told me, it said this is AI generated content. This is not allowed.
mm,
Ooh, okay. So there are invisible watermark and code in these files when you're, people are just, having fun with it, but there's invisible watermarks. And I know that OpenAI has the Sora, and the Sora has a visible one, but they also have an invisible one. So
Right.
be just be aware of that. Okay, so that's what I had to, talk about today, was about the and I forgot what I called it, because
Oh, the content shift.
outcome oriented content. Yes.
Yes.
We're working
OC,
backwards from what we want.
the double OC.
Yeah. But we're working backwards from the outcome that we want, instead of the way we've always done it of, okay, I got to go on content because, make content because I'm trying to attract my target audience. But you're not thinking about the things that they understand or feel or want.
So this goes back to what you talked about several years ago about social listening. What does your audience want?
Yeah, this is thank you. That's a part of it. That's the part of it. So now what with this process, I'm saying that we are going to, because there's all these factors of nobody's following, there's no engagement, I'm doing this and nobody's this and that. Well, because now we got to turn it on its ear, on upside down, and go from the goal part and come forward. Like, what does the audience want? What will make them, satisfy their problem? And then you work it back to, okay, this is what I say in this piece of content on social media or the podcast or the written word or the blog post or the LinkedIn post or whatever. And remember, it's all conversational, not the keywords of the the H1. Not, you got to start with the blog post. It's got to be a H1, and those things still apply. The SEO rules still apply, but it's make it more conversational because it attracts the person reading it versus an algorithm is the best way to say it.
And if you would like to know more and get some insight, connect with TJ. Just go to cherryjohnsononline.com/info. She will be happy to help you figure it out so that how you can do it, because sometimes on our program here we don't have enough time for you to implement. How do I get in here and make this thing? So reach out to TJ. She'll help you figure that out.
And that link, I'm working on like a library of guides. So that link, use that link. That'll be whatever it says now is going to be, okay, here's, the free guide, whatever I call it. It's going to be things you can download for your guide. So little things that we've talked about in all of these shows. And also, just go to social media, whatever platform you're on, and send me a comment, a message, or whatever, a question, wherever.
Yes. So we want to say thank you for tuning in today. Also letting you know that you can become a part of the Bizchicks community. You can go to bizchicks.net, or you can text biz to 33777. You will not be spammed. We're only going to bring you pertinent information that's going to help you build a profitable business. That is why we are here. We are here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. So tomorrow, Coach Karen will be in. Thursday, we'll be hearing from Robin with some healthy habits. And then on Friday, we'll be back. TJ will be back giving us a social media report for the week. Yep. We'll be talking about tech that's making news, tech in the history, all things tech happening on Friday. So come sit with us, and we look forward to seeing you. Have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.